consider this question. For each type of candy, what is the total candy count and the average candy count, and sort by the total candy. So if we look at the database we're working with, the different documents here have a candy, and that's what we're looking for, is the type of candy, and also has a field candy count. And so those are the two things it's asking for. It's looking for each type of candy, what is the total candy count and the average. So here we need the aggregate function, and we'll use the group stage, and the group needs a document that lists all the fields and what their values are supposed to be. So we need ID, and this one is going to be based on the candy field, so there's the candy field. And then what other do we want? This is the identifies the type of candy, and then we want to know what's the total candy count. So the next value in here is a field for total candy. So I can name the field whatever I want. So I'm going to name it total candy. And then where are we getting the value from? So what we want is a total. So what we'll be using is the sum operator. And we've already used that, but we've just used it to count. This time, instead of just the number 1 to count, we want to actually specify a field that it's going to be summing over. And so that field is that candy count field. So we use the quotes, $candy _ count, and that's the field that we want to sum over. Then we're going to use another field, so we can just be putting commas in fields, as many as we need. I'm going to use enter, and it's getting a little bit long. So the next field I want is the average candy. And this one, instead of using the sum, I'm going to use the average operator, AVG operator. And again, I want to specify what field it's going to take the average out over. And this one is going to be candy count as well. So there I have the total candy count and the average candy count. Now what about sorting? So this time I'm going to use a different stage, and this one's going to use the sort like we've done, but notice that this time the sort is actually sorting over a value from our result set. Aggregate works in order, so it will do this first, and then whatever is followed by that. Oh, I see I spelled group wrong. I'll fix that while I'm here. So it's going to do this first, and then off of this set we can go ahead and sort by a value that's in here, and we want to sort by total candy. So I'm going to get this field, and when we use a field from the result, we can just directly use it. It doesn't even need quotes or the $sign. So we want to sort it by that candy total, the total candy. Now we need to make this a document, because the second part of this is whether we want it in ascending or descending order. And it says the total count with the most first. That's going to be the largest number going down. So that's going to be in descending order, which is the -1. Let's copy this into our command line and run it. Something's not right, it's not happening, so I'm going to use Control-C to stop it. And then if I look carefully, I see that I'm missing a second closing curly brace here. So let's fix that error and come back and try again. And there we get our result. So now notice what we have. We have the candy, right? That's what our field is on, so the ID is the actual value of candy. The next one is the total candy count, where it's accumulated the total for each individual candy, and then the average candy amount. And it is in fact in order by that total candy amount.